All right, guys, just wanted to give some feedback here. Quick down and dirty on this Nitecore EDC17. This is from a professional use standpoint. You know, I own a general construction firm as well as engineering firm. And so this thing sees a lot of use, build commercial, residential. I'm not on tools. You know, obviously every day I'm in the office, I'm out in the field, but I do a lot of inspections and just quality control checks and coordinating with contractors and our project managers and stuff. So this thing for me sees a lot of real world use. Why I like it is obviously you can tell, you know, Builder's Arsenal by the name. You know, I am into the preparedness stuff and just, you know, being prepared for life, right? So knowing how to shoot, maintaining your fitness, you know, keeping an arsenal, you know, that's kind of my mentality, right? It's not just weapons, it's a whole suite of tools, right? It could be mental tools, but tools. This right here, I just wanted to throw up a review because hopefully maybe Nitecore will see it, get some feedback to them from real world, you know, professional user. Couple complaints. I'll start with the complaints first, because if you're looking at one of these, that's probably why you're watching this. If you're wanting to pick one up, the lens seems to be a little weak. I've dropped this, you know, I'm a dad, my son picks it up and he plays with it, the light, and you know, it gets dropped, and I've dropped it a few times. That lens is cracked there, no issue. I mean, it still works fine. I may warranty it, but that's one, you know, issue I have. The form factor of this is great, but the only other issue that I've experienced is there's a little bit of bugginess with the electronics. Okay, so if this is the mode button, so you really have, there's only two buttons on this thing. You've got your OTF style, you know, out the front style. Looks like a OTF knife, right? Like a Microtech or something. But you've got low, medium, high. Love that. Very simple. Not a lot of complicated switchology. This mode button, if you go on low, will switch you, you know, if you press it. See, you see I had to press that twice. For whatever reason, it didn't want to switch over. Maybe I'm not pressing hard enough. That's laser. Okay, see, I'm pressing it. So see right there, you're watching real time. There's some type of failure or bugginess with the actual mode button. See, I just pressed it like 4 times to get the ultraviolet, and let's see, there we go. Now we're at white light. So something a little buggy is going on with this mode button. The light seems to be working fine itself. But yeah, so two real complaints is the lens is weak and there's a little bit of electrical bugginess on this. You know, it's not wanting to respond, which I guess that's kind of a big deal, right? So I may try out the O-Light. The one thing this would be like a 10 out of 10 tool for me. The reason I use it every day is because, you know, it's got light. I can go check things, you know, especially on my residential, like high-end builds, custom builds. You know, I'm using it as grazing light on drywall to check behind trades and you know, trust but verify. I do like the glass breaker. That's more of a, you know, tactical EDC type use, which surprisingly I just used one of these, just not on this tool, but I had a Gerber pin. I had to use my glass breaker. My 18-month-old son locked himself in the truck, and my wife called me. I wasn't there, I was at work, and she was freaking out. We live in Florida. And I ended up having to, rather than call 911 and go through that hassle, I just came home. You know, I was 5 minutes away, and couldn't find any spare keys. Anyways, couldn't get the door, the car open, so I had to bust the window. So anyway, stuff like this, I mean, that's like a low use case thing, but it is nice to have. You know, it doesn't take up any more room. The non-reversible clip, that really doesn't bother me. How many times are you going to put this on a hat, at least for like normal use? Probably not that often. To me, the one thing that why I really like this is the form factor. You know, the OTF style button. I've had issues in the past with actually an O-Light. It was a click, like a tail click style, but it caught my pocket on fire. This was, you know, back in the day when I was in the military, and I used to carry all kinds of shit, you know, EDC stuff, and I was all into the tactical side of things, right? Not really the professional use side of it, but I had an Olight, and it ended up, it clicked on the back. It had that magnet recharging deal, and somehow I just felt this searing heat in my pocket, and the light had been on and it burned a hole in my pocket. So that was one thing I realized, like, the switchology of stuff is important. The nice thing about this too is it's USB-C, simple. I don't like all these proprietary chargers and stuff. Just keep it simple. Okay, so this would be a 10 out of 10 if they could. I don't know if mine has an issue with the electronics, but it's buggy, and the lens cracks. So those are my two complaints. Other than that, form factor and the layout, you need light, it's on, right? You don't have to go through 5 different settings to get turbo mode or whatever. It is very easy to use. So Nitecore, I don't know, maybe can you guys send me a new one or warranty this? If you guys can fix those issues, I think this would be a 10 out of 10 tool. Little teaching point here, as somebody, who does run a business, I would say this is a great tool if you are in the field and or in some type of construction industry, adjacent industry, engineering, architecture, whatever, and communicating, right, with the laser pointer, well, when it works, right, is a big deal. There we go, guys. So now the laser is like not working at all. See, I got full charge. It's not the battery. So I'm holding that button and it's not coming on. So weird. I think I'm going to warranty this thing. But I was just saying that laser pointer is a huge, valuable tool for communication, especially when you're trying to communicate something that may be up high, point to something, it's kind of like, it reminds me of like, don't fucking point at a map with your finger, use a tool so people can see exactly precisely where you're pointing, right? That was a big one in the military. Same type of thing, like, don't be that jackass who's like, oh, look at this, we need to fix this. Like, have the right tool to point something out. And it's just when you go and you're with a client and you're pointing at something or a deficiency, whatever, you pull out a laser pointer or a light and you're able to inspect something. It's just a different mentally people perceive that as like, damn, this guy's, squared away. So it's a good tool to have. Nitecore, can we get this fixed, please, with the electronic issues and this lens? I'll continue to carry this because it's invaluable and it's a great tool. It just needs a little bit of tweaks.